Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matthew Putterman. I'm here with my MMA news. I'm alongside Bellator Bantamweight contender Raufeon Stots. Raufeon, thank you so much for joining me, man. And of course, how you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing good, man. Don't got the Rona right now, so it's a good day.
That's always good, man. Well, thank you for joining me. Let's talk a little bit about the coronavirus, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, and what are you doing to stay busy during this time?
At first I thought it was like people were overly scared or whatever, but as more things close down and I feel like more cases go up, I think it's definitely something to be cautious about. I'm not like overly cautious, I'm protecting myself, staying safe, washing my hands and using hand sanitizer and trying to stay in as much as we can. So, I it's a thing where I feel like people are like you'll know if you underprepared, but you won't know if you overprepared. But you might as well overprepare, just because you don't want to see, especially now. I got a kid and a wife. I don't want to have to go. I'm pretty sure we'll live through it, but I don't want to have to go through it. You know what I mean? Having the
No.
virus.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I won't talk too much about that. I mean, it's all over the news. Everyone's kind of getting sick of talking about it, but we can move past it for sure, man. So hopefully that goes away soon. But let's talk a little bit about your Bellator debut.
Yeah.
What were your first moments once you first got into the cage? Were you just like, I made it? Or what was your first initial thought?
Yeah, when I was in there, I was just like yeah, like I made it. This is what I'm supposed to be. I'm doing it. Let's hit the ground running. That's kind of how I felt. I felt like, man, this is nice. This is I can get used to this kind of thing.
Yeah, most definitely. Why did you sign with Bellator and not the UFC? Was it specifically Bellator wanted you more, or the UFC didn't want you
Yeah,
yet? What was that?
yeah. For me, it was the Bellator showed a really big interest in me. Right away, and I had some talks with the matchmakers over at UFC, and they weren't as interested as I thought they should be in me. So it's kind of like I'm going where I'm wanted, and or where I'm appreciated. So, and I don't have much time. I feel like to accomplish the goals that I have to accomplish. So I wanna get started on becoming a world champion. So Bellator is a place to do it.
Most definitely. I mean, you have a team in Sergio as well that's also in your division. As you see, and you have Emmanuel Sanchez, who's at 145 pounds in the Bellator tournament. Would you like to see Bellator do a bantamweight world tournament for you guys for $1 million in the title?
Man, that would be awesome. And that was another reason why I did join the Bellator. I feel like Bellator had a lot of things going on that were beneficial to me. And just they had a lot of eyes on them, They're doing some innovative things and I think the tournament style definitely caters to my style of fighting. I'm a person that doesn't get hurt often and then I win a lot. So, I feel like it's a good place for me to be, and also for me financially, I feel like the Bellator was a better spot for me. So that was kind of my or Emmanuel Sanchez definitely. He's a teammate of mine, as you know. He definitely, seeing his success and seeing how he was treated there, definitely swayed my decision.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that division. 135 is a really popping division, as you see in
Yeah,
Bellator right now. Even more
and
deep, maybe than
I
the
think I definitely feel like they're leaning toward there being some a tournament or some kind or shaking things up at bantamweight, because I see a lot of bantamweights being signed. I see a lot of talent in bantamweight. So I'm definitely thinking that's a good option for them, going forward.
Yeah, that's what I see too, man. Obviously, they're the heavyweight tournament, welterweight, featherweight, and now they have to do bantamweight. There's too many young
Yeah,
prospects and
especially now,
guys.
because what's his name? Kuraguchi relinquished his title, so the
Yep,
title is vacant.
exactly.
So this is a good opportunity, for them to make some noise. I think bantamweight, we got get some characters in the bantamweight
Oh
division,
yeah.
so it'd be really cool, if they did a bantamweight tournament.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I mean, of course, your teammate Sergio Pettis, and then there's
Yep.
also highly touted James Gallagher as well, Leandro
Yeah.
Higo. If you could pick one,
Yeah.
obviously you're not probably fighting Sergio Pettis. I mean, I would not. I'm not going to ask
Yeah.
that stupid ass question. Uh,
Yeah.
but A lot of reporters would ask that. But let's talk about, would you want to fight James Gallagher? Would you like to fight him?
Man, I've offered. So there's two people that I've offered to fight already. That I was something went wrong where they didn't want to fight me, or the fight didn't happen. So I offered to fight James Gallagher when he had his opponent pull out. But I feel like they have a plan for James Gallagher in the European market. So me going over there to disrupt that wouldn't have been good for his career trajectory. So also I offered to fight Patchy Mix. So he's another good grappler, all the way around good fighter. He's beat some of the beasts, Ricky Bandejas, in the Bellator. So that was another fight that I would love to have. And also that Juan Archuleta dude would be, I feel like a good fight for me to have, just because I feel like he fought at 35 at one point. But yeah, so there's some good, I feel like, opportunities for me if they're there. So I would love to fight those two, Gallagher or Patchy Mix. Any of those guys, any of those guys in the bantamweight. I'm open to fight them all. Of course, not Sergio Pettis. It's like my brother, man. I want to fight my family. So other than that, yeah, I'm open to fight anybody.
Most definitely, man. Well, I gotta ask you. There's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows in the MMA game. I ask this question to every fighter I talk to. What motivates you more, coming off a loss or coming off of a win? Because you don't lose very often. You only have one loss on your record. So
yeah, I feel like when I came off of that, coming off of the loss, I feel like motivated me definitely more. For me, just because I feel like the taste of defeat was one thing that drives me, or not having that taste of defeat. Like, I hate the taste of defeat, so it drives me to not have that. So to put everything forward and kind of work my butt off to not taste that taste of defeat. Whether it's before the fight or during the fight. So I definitely, for me, I feel like the defeat definitely makes me better. It makes me more aware, more just ready to fight.
most definitely. Where do you see yourself here in the Bellator promotion in the next 5 years?
Oh, the next 5 years, I'll probably be a house name in the Bellator. I'm definitely, I feel like one of the most talented athletes on the roster. I don't feel like I'm overlooked, but I definitely feel like a lot of people don't really they're not familiar with me yet. But I think in 5 years, I'm definitely, I'm gonna be a champion in the Bellator organization, and I'm gonna be a household name.
Most definitely. Well, what are some of the things you like to do outside of fighting?
Man, it's a lot of stuff I like to do. So I got this roster builder series that I like to do. So I like to build things. Do some woods. What do you call that? Woodscrafting. With some power tools and things. I help. I got a brother-in-law that he's construction manager or something. Knows a lot. So he's like putting in walls and taking out walls and putting in doors and making concrete countertops and stuff. So that's one of the things I like to do. I'm also a gamer. I like playing games. I play games a lot on the PS4. And chilling out with my family, my son, and my wife. And I've been doing a lot of that lately. So yeah, that's some of the things I like doing. In my spare time.
What's your go-to game for when you're gaming?
Man, right now it's Fortnite, man.
Yeah?
No, probably, yeah, man. I'm a Fortniter. I probably get on probably 3 times a week, like in the morning. Granted, if people's on, but yeah, I like it. It's fun to me to play Fortnite. I have brought out though, since the coronavirus stuff started up, I brought out my Wii Rock Band. So I've been playing my drums, expert level, doing my thug thizzle there.
I see you.
The rock band. But yeah.
I see you with that for sure, man. And how many wins have you gotten in Fortnite so far? How many have you got?
How many wins? Oh man, yeah. I don't even know. I ain't the best, but I've probably got over 100 or something, like victory in victory royales. Yeah,
okay.
Probably over. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to play it for sure, man. I haven't played
Oh,
Fortnite in
you
a while.
on the Fortnite? You on the
You already
Fort?
know we gotta run it. You already know we gotta run it. Come on, Rob.
Oh, snap. Okay, yeah, we gotta get on there. Can't let
Uh,
my wife hate Fortnite because I'll be on it, but
it's
but I'm
addicting.
gonna be on it.
Understand that. I agree. I agree with that for sure. But Raufeon, I thank you for joining me today, man. Of course, I hope you and your family stay safe and healthy through this time. I know we can get through this together.
Yep.
But if you want to shout out any sponsors, my man, feel free to shout out any sponsors. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I like to thanks to Combat Corner as always. You know, Rufus Sport has been my home um, from throughout my pro career. You know, and I'm very thankful for the coaches I have there. And who else? Oh, Twin J, Twin J Transportation is always a big supporter of mine. Jake Kurtz Payne is always a big supporter of mine, and Blaine Brown or BB Roofing is also a huge supporter from since I was an amateur. So I'd like to thank those guys.
Most definitely. Well, thank you again, Raufeon. I hope you guys, like I said, stay safe and healthy out there. Again, this is Matthew Putterman signing out with My MMA News. Make sure you guys tune in next time. Have a great day and stay blessed.